Drama today as Nick Reiner, who's accused of brutally murdering his famous father.
What really happened that night? Shocking new revelations are emerging that could change everything we know about the tragic deaths of Rob and Michelle Reiner. This case, once thought to be resolved, is now uncovering layers of hidden details. How did Nick, a seemingly regular young man, become the perpetrator in one of the most brutal family tragedies in recent years? It all begins months before the shocking killings. Nick Reiner's life seemed to be spiraling out of control, but the turning point came when doctors changed his medication. What seemed like a simple adjustment led to catastrophic consequences. Could this be a key piece of the puzzle? Reports show that Nick had been diagnosed with schizophrenia, but a crucial detail was overlooked in the months leading up to the murders. A switch in medication was made, which many believe played a devastating role in what followed. Was this a failure of the medical system, or something even darker? Nick's behavior had already started to deteriorate. People close to him described a sudden shift, a drastic change in personality. He was no longer the same person. Was this change caused by the medication, or was there more at play? A month before the murders, everything began to unravel. Friends, family, and even doctors noticed Nick's increasing instability. His once stable mental health seemed to slip away, and no one saw the warning signs that something much worse was coming that night. The night before the murders, Nick was seen acting very strangely at a high-profile party hosted by a well-known celebrity. Sources say he was acting antisocial, withdrawn, and eventually got into a heated argument with his father, Rob. The fight was so intense that people nearby began to worry. This was no ordinary family squabble. Could this have been the spark that ignited a tragic chain of events? Sources claim that shortly after the fight, Rob and Michelle Reiner abruptly left the party. It's unclear whether that argument triggered the killings, but insiders say it was part of a much bigger mental health breakdown for Nick, who had been slipping deeper into his own personal crisis. And then came the shocking discovery: the violence that followed was unlike anything anyone could have imagined. Forensic evidence suggests that Nick's actions were driven by something beyond mere anger. The level of brutality was far beyond what one might expect from someone in his state of mind. Some even suspect drugs may have played a role. Nick's connection to a notorious drug den in Exposition Park in Los Angeles raises even more questions. Reports state that he had visited the area shortly before the murders. Why would he go to such a dangerous place if he wasn't involved with drugs? And what role did this play in the violent attack? The Reiners murder was described as inhuman, the horrifying scene that continues to traumatize those involved in the investigation. The crime scene photos alone have left medical examiners disturbed and shaken. Was this an act of rage, or the result of an unstable mind driven to violence by the influence of drugs? Another haunting question remains unanswered. Where is the murder weapon? Despite intense investigations, authorities have yet to locate the weapon used to carry out this horrific crime. What does this missing evidence mean for the case moving forward? As investigators continue to piece together the shocking events that led to the Reiner family's tragic deaths, many are left wondering, how much responsibility does the healthcare system bear in this tragedy? Could Nick have been given proper care? And could this all have been prevented? The story is far from over, and with each passing day, more questions arise. Is Nick simply a victim of a broken system? Or does this case go even deeper into a world of mental illness and drug abuse? The truth is more complicated than anyone could have predicted. Stay tuned as more details emerge and the Reiner case takes another shocking turn.